What is going on, everybody? This is Liam from the Crypto Convo, coming to you with another episode of the Crypto Convo, where we talk about cryptocurrencies and what's going on in the crypto verse. Starting off with just the general market, we are starting to see the market kind of pop back. It was a pretty rough weekend. We saw Ethereum and Bitcoin, particularly Ethereum, got down below previous all-time highs. Bitcoin got down to pretty close to 42,000, but managed to stay above 43,000, which was a considerable pullback. Wasn't a full 30% pullback, but as we can see today, everything's starting to bounce back. We have Bitcoin almost it tapped 50,000 a little earlier. We have Ethereum back above its previous all-time high from 2017. So everything's looking good. Just wanted to cover some reports that I saw come across my desk today, starting with some mainstream stuff. Fidelity, one of the largest Wall Street brokerage firms, one of their head honchos come out saying Bitcoin is worth considering for inclusion in a portfolio. So, Jurian Timmer, the director of global macro at Fidelity, says essentially, in my view, some investors may wish to consider Bitcoin alongside other alternatives as one component of the bond side of a 60-40 stock bond portfolio. He said, Fidelity oversees $9.8 trillion in total customer assets. So this is essentially what a lot of these big corporations that have been acquiring Bitcoin are doing. They're seeing Bitcoin as an alternative to bonds, and that's essentially what this Fidelity guy, Jurian Timmer, is saying, that some folks are starting in the retail space, are even starting to consider Bitcoin as an alternative to the 40% of a traditional portfolio setup. So that just goes to show more and more adoption is coming of Bitcoin. But what's even more exciting than that is February DEX volumes hit a new high of nearly $73 billion. And just in case you're not aware, a DEX is a decentralized exchange. So almost like a Coinbase, a Voyager, a Kraken. However, instead of there being a central entity that holds the coins that you can buy from, folks like you and I, we can actually participate by providing liquidity to these liquidity pools of these decentralized exchanges, and the people actually become the exchange. So, for example, I would put my coins into a pool, and if somebody decided to exchange one token for the other, I would earn a percentage, a fee based on that transaction. So it essentially replaces one institution having all the coins with a pool of retail or even bigger, whoever wants to participate can. And it is hitting new volumes. So $73 billion were exchanged on these decentralized exchanges, which is super duper exciting because it just shows us that the adoption is happening, it's growing, and this is really just the beginning. So it says decentralized exchanges, DEXs, ended the month of February with the highest monthly volume on record, according to data gathered by the block. February's monthly volume hit a new high of approximately 72.89 billion, increasing by 12 billion from January. And just for some of the rankings here, Uniswap, this was the largest DEX, making up most of the monthly volume with 36.6 billion. And then SushiSwap and Curve came in second, hitting 14.9 billion and 4.4 billion respectively. So I own Uniswap and SushiSwap, a little bit of both, but those are just some tokens to keep in mind and to look into. Do your own due diligence. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what's happening in the world of DeFi and DEXs. Next up on the chopping block, Mark Cuban continues to go in on crypto and blockchain and Ethereum, NFTs, smart contracts. Mark Cuban, he recently did an interview with Decrypt, which I plan on watching after I record this video. He says Ethereum will disrupt the F out of big software companies. So what he's saying is, just imagine what we were just talking about with these DEXs, where instead of a centralized institution like Coinbase holding all the coins, it's a pool of investors, a pool of people putting up their assets in order to earn rewards. So he's basically saying that that's similarly going to happen to a bunch of industries. He talks a little bit about accounting, about healthcare, banking, with the DeFi space. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful what's going on, and just considering the fact that we're really, really in just the infancy of this technology, and we're really starting to see how it can be deployed and applied into real world applications. So this is just another big bullish sign that, look, this stuff is here to stay, and it will infiltrate our lives, much like the internet has over the last 20, 30, 40 years, and will just continue to grow. So up next, getting into some specific, Ethereum, I guess, is pretty specific. But Ethereum is such a big ecosystem, right? That's what Ethereum is. It's an ecosystem where developers can build what are called dApps, decentralized applications, like the DEXs from Uniswap or SushiSwap. But let's get into some more project-specific news. So DeFi money market Compound embraces multi-chain future with Gateway testnet. Compound Finance founder Robert Leshner says, I think it's inevitable that there is an expansion beyond just Ethereum. So as I was just saying, Ethereum is a massive ecosystem, and that's honestly where a lot of the top protocols, developers, smart contracts are being built on. But he says Gateway is really designed for a multi-chain future where assets live on multiple blockchains and where decentralized finance applications and logic run on multiple blockchains as well. And so essentially what they're doing is they're opening up Compound to be interoperable, meaning being able to operate and work with more chains than just Ethereum, which means it's going to be, and this is really the future. I mean, eventually all these blockchains are more than likely, everything's going to be connected, right? The way it's set up right now is if you're in the Ethereum ecosystem, you kind of have to stick to the Ethereum ecosystem. If you're in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem, you kind of have to stay within that ecosystem. They're not really all connected quite yet. And that's what, projects like Polkadot are working on doing, is connecting a lot of these different chains so that everybody can work together and you can seamlessly transfer from one ecosystem to the next. And speaking of another big chain, so Cardano, and you can see this is a trend here, multi-asset, multi-chain, multi-asset. That's what a lot of projects are working on becoming, integrating with everybody else. So Cardano becomes a multi-asset blockchain with today's hard fork. So it says, named Mary, the hard fork will allow users to create new tokens that run on Cardano natively. So this is similar to the Ethereum network or ecosystem, where we have, projects like Compound. They have a Compound token, and these are what are called ERC20 tokens, which is one of the many tokens that can be generated or minted, created within the Ethereum network on top of the Ethereum blockchain. Well, Cardano is essentially allowing DeFi or dApps to do the same, where they can create their own token along with or on top of the Cardano blockchain. And this is just one of the first steps. The Mary hard fork, I know they've got some big plans, I believe sometime in the summer, to launch the next phase of which is Goguen, which is going to allow for smart contracts to start being built on Cardano. So that's some of the exciting stuff that I saw today. Just to take a look at some of the charts, we saw Bitcoin has been pulling it back since last weekend from this high of 58,000, and it got all the way down to 43, which in all honesty is still not that big of a correction. It's not even 30%, which 30% corrections are pretty normal. That's exactly what we saw back here. So I don't know, we don't know if this is it busted through right here. This could be a bull trap and could come back down into retest 42, which would be a pretty sizable correction, and then 40,000, that would be a full 30% correction, or maybe beyond that. Ethereum, same thing. So there's still a lot of uncertainty for me, at least. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I've definitely been adding some tokens to my bags, including Link, Girth, the Graph, we call it the Girth coin around here, Graph, Chainlink. These are some of the ones that I've been adding. Latentry, which is a super exciting project. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all for today's news. I'm going to definitely start making, some more videos beyond just the news, and maybe some tutorials. I made that pancake swap tutorial. I know half of it got messed up, so I will probably remake that. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for checking in. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to smash the like button so that other folks can see this video and see what's going on in the crypto ecosystem. And don't forget, subscribe if you do enjoy the content and you want to keep up to date with news and just learning about what's going on within the crypto space, learn tutorials, learn about different projects, different tokens and coins, things along that nature. But anyways, with that being said, my name is Liam from the Crypto Convo, and hodl on until next time.